Everybody is looking to move to the South Shore here in 2025, but before you do, you have to know these 5 things. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the 5 things you genuinely need to know in order to make the best decision when moving here to the South Shore. And by the way, my name is Sean Murphy with Living on the South Shore. And if you have any questions, my information is below in the description. You can text me, email me, or even get a phone call scheduled. But please, before you do anything, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with anybody else that might be looking to move to the South Shore. But without further ado, let's get into it. First up, home prices and market trends. Now, the South Shore offers multiple options when it comes to what kind of home you are looking for, whether it's old historic colonial homes that you can get in Hingham, to waterfront estates in towns like Cohasset and Duxbury, to even modern new builds that you can find in any of these towns. There's something for everyone. Now, home prices can vary significantly depending on which town you're looking at. The median price in Hingham, for example, is around $700,000, while Marshfield is right around $500,000. And then, of course, you can find the palatial estates that are right on the water on a huge piece of land that can be multi-million dollar pieces of property. And now, of course, the market trends. During COVID, the interest level of moving to the South Shore, it improved dramatically. And so we've had a lot of competition here, and 2025 is not looking any different. Now, of course, it's slowed down a little bit since COVID, but there's a lot of competition because of the lifestyle down here, the amenities, the access to beaches, to Coastline, but then, of course, the easy commute into Boston. So 2025 is going to be very competitive, as it always is. So it's important to work with an agent that knows the market, that knows what's going on down here, but also can really help you hone in on exactly what you're looking for. Next up is the top-rated school systems here on the South Shore. The South Shore is home to some of the best public school systems in the state of Massachusetts. This includes Hingham, Cohasset, Duxbury, Norwell. Those are always ranking in the top 50 in the state. Many of these schools offer a robust amount of extracurricular activities, whether it's the arts, the music, sports programs, etc. There's a lot of options when it comes to these public schools. Now let's talk quickly about the athletics. The athletics here on the South Shore are very competitive. A lot of these high schools get multiple state championships year after year in a number of different sports. Now, aside from the tremendous public school systems they have here on the South Shore, there are also many options when it comes to private school. Thayer Academy in Braintree is incredible. Derby Academy in Hingham is a fantastic school as well. And then there's Notre Dame Academy, the all-girls private school in Hingham also. So when it comes to the schools, there's a ton of options that can cater to any kind of family and any kind of education system that you're looking for. Next up, the amenities and activities here on the South Shore. Now, when it comes to these amenities, guys, you cannot beat what the South Shore offers. A lot of these towns have really quaint, cool little downtown areas with a ton of very unique restaurants. But then, of course, you've got the coastline. You cannot beat the coastline. A lot of these towns have private beaches such as Sandy Beach in Cohasset, Duxbury Beach in Duxbury, but then you've got the public beaches as well. Tons of them in Marshfield. You've got Nantasket Beach in Hull. So if you love the coastline, you love getting to the beach, the South Shore is your best option. And then aside from the beaches and the coastline, you can get into boating down here. There's a ton of harbors. A lot of people get into sailing, they get into boating. But then you've got golf courses all over the place. You've got state parks, including Wampatuck here in Hingham, that offer mountain biking, they offer hiking. There's a ton of outdoor activities and amenities for you to enjoy year-round, really. And then, of course, you've got cultural attractions, such as the South Shore Music Circus, which is one of my favorite venues to go watch a show during the summertime. They have concerts all summer long. And then, of course, you've got places like the Levitate Backyard out in Marshfield and the Levitate Music Festival that happens every summer out at the Marshfield Fairgrounds as well. So amenity-wise, you can't beat the South Shore. It's got everything you need: outdoor activities, beaches, coastline, and then all of the music scene and the cultural attractions that we spoke about. Next one up is Coastline living. Now, depending on what kind of home you're looking for here on the South Shore, even what town you're looking in, some of these towns can offer you a tremendous amount of opportunities when it comes to either living on the water, living on the coast, or even having distant views of the ocean or the harbor. Towns like Hingham, towns like Cohasset, Duxbury, Scituate, Marshfield, all of these towns have coastal options when it comes to finding a home. So if you can really figure out, number one, your price point, number two, the town in which you really want to move to, you can find a spot that will have a view of the water or access to the water as well. Now, as I mentioned in that last point, this is a huge boating community, so some of these homes even come with their own deeded docks. So if you're looking for something like that, again, you've got a lot of options. Hull, Hingham, Cohasset, Scituate, Duxbury, Marshfield. There's so many options when it comes to living on the water. So if this is what you're looking for, the South Shore is definitely your spot. And the last thing to really know about the South Shore here is every town has its own very specific community and lifestyle vibe. You could literally drive from one town to the next, and it's got a very, very different feel to it. Hingham, for example, combines historic charm with upscale living. A lot of these old historic homes have been renovated, so it's got the old feel to it and the old look to it on the outside, but then on the inside you walk in and it's a brand new home. But then you can drive over to Cohasset and feel its quaint, very tight-knit community that's got an extreme coastal beach feel because it's got its own private beach, Sandy Beach. But then of course you drive right down to Marshfield, which has a very laid-back coastal kind of surf vibe to it. And of course, Levitate is a big part of that. But every single town has its own feel and its own charm. Now, as I mentioned before, most of these towns on the South Shore have some tremendous traditions and festivals and activities to do throughout the year. Most towns offer a farmer's market or something nearby that's just like that. July 4th parades, fireworks, Memorial Day barbecues. There's a ton of activities to do in most of these South Shore towns. And if you take it one more step further, a lot of these neighborhoods within these towns have their own very tight-knit communities where they have neighborhood parties, neighborhood barbecues, they have big Halloween events for the kids to go trick-or-treating. The South Shore is a very tight-knit community, and then when you dive into each town and each neighborhood, you see just the difference in what they can offer, and it's pretty incredible. So there you have it. There are the top 5 things to know before moving to the South Shore. Now again, my name is Sean Murphy with Living on the South Shore here. And if you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to reach out. My information's down in the description. You can text me, you can email me, or you can even get a phone call scheduled. But don't forget, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and as always, thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day.